Disney refused to let her back on air. The former SportsCenter host settled her lawsuit, and she joins me here tonight. So, Sage, first of all, it's a great honor to interview you. I've spent many, many hours watching you host SportsCenter, so thank you so much for all of your great work. What was it like behind the scenes when you were feeling so unwelcome at ESPN and Disney?
You know, I wasn't the only one who felt silenced, who felt scared. I mean, some of us would literally whisper in the corner or even in the bathroom and talk about, hey, we can't say this too loud. I think it was hard because if there were other opinions on the other side, you were allowed to be boisterous about it. And by the way, not just, you know, in the studio or in the green room or in the makeup room, but on social media, on ESPN platforms. And I think that's all I ever wanted. And that's kind of what the suit was about, was consistency. What are the rules? Let's make them clear and make sure everybody follows them, not just the people that fit a certain narrative. And after that went on repeatedly for years and years, I've said this a lot in the last couple of weeks because I've had to really reflect on everything. And Jesse, I didn't know when enough was enough for me. I didn't say, okay, if they do this, when it happened and I was suspended and taken off the air and assignments taken away and then continually punished after apologizing publicly and doing all the things I was supposed to do, I just knew it was enough for me.
Did you feel ostracized by other anchors, other correspondents at ESPN, or was this mostly coming down through executives and general counsel?
I did. But here's what I've learned through 28 years in this business now. You know, a blessing and a curse with social media and all of the technology today. The biggest blessing for me is that I've finally learned to be okay not being liked, even if they're for reasons that I think are stupid. People who won't even have a conversation or who have never even met me. That happens quite a lot, and I'm sure you're familiar with it too.
Oh, quite familiar, Sage, quite familiar.
I mean, it's insane, and it's the opposite of what people preach with diversity and equity and tolerance and inclusion and acceptance and all those words that everybody throws around, especially in corporate America. But then when it's actually time to live it, that was my issue. So I'm actually, it's a blessing. I'm okay now not being liked. And there's a lot of freedom with that. So I was okay with whoever didn't like me at work. I'm not saying it didn't hurt, and it still does, but there's bigger things.
Do you think ABC, Disney, ESPN are salvageable corporations? And what advice would you give those companies and all of these companies that are grappling with these same issues?
So that's kind of my why, one of my whys behind taking a stand, because I knew that for so many years to be afraid and to feel silenced, despite everyone preaching the opposite, that if I don't speak up now, once I was made to apologize and then punished, if I didn't speak up now, then I thought, shame on me. Not just for other corporations. I mean, that's what I'm hoping, is that other people who work wherever in America, no matter how big or small the company, don't feel this way. But honestly, I have 3 kids, 2 in college, 1 in high school, or first day of our senior year was today. They're 17, 19, and 21. And I have preached to them about standing up tall and strong and being okay being you no matter what. And so then what was their mom going to do? Just hide under the table again because I was afraid? I mean, I'd done that for years. So I hope, yes, in corporate America, these bosses pay attention and are consistent now. But those of us who have a voice, and even if you don't have a big platform, we're hypocrites if we don't begin to call this out and try to change it.
It's a great message, very inspiring, and you've handled the whole situation with a lot of grace. So congratulations to you. I'm glad you're in a great place. And thank you for joining us on Jesse Watters Primetime, Sage.
Thank you so much for having me, Jesse.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.